don't know if you've been following the show. Um, if you've been following the show, you know that we stood in support of a Mount Vernon police officer, Derek Williams. And he, at that time, was going to be terminated because of his sickness. He had kidney failure, and it was a result of COVID. And when he caught COVID, he was out for COVID for 30 days, and they paid him. And he went to request that his kidney failure, because it is known medical that COVID harmed organs, whether it's your lungs, your heart, your kidneys, right? And they denied him. And they pushed to fire him. They wanted to fire him. Well, they did push him out. So we really had a conversation, and this is one of the texts, or one of the comments from the Mount Vernon Mayor, Sean Patterson Howard, when we tried to help Derek. And she made another comment I'm not going to put up to Derek, and even question his family, bro. Like, this is why these black politicians are insane, right? Hold on a second. Let me I'm gonna fill out my face a little bit on this one, because why is this like this? Hold on one second, family. I'm trying to fix it so I get my face on this. All right. And I'm going to make it quick because I don't want to hold nobody up. So you see, went back to that. So you see what she says. Due process is him filing his paperwork. Due process is responding to the paperwork issued by the city. Due process is a law. Now check it out. I offered him a meeting in December so he could sit with me and administration, including HR, and walk through the process of filing the paperwork. His union and you all who claim to know what you're doing failed him. No paperwork for 2 years, no response to officials' letters in department, just a press conference. His union failed him. His so-called fans failed him. The city has followed the process. Screaming and posting and press conference are not paperwork, right? I love Negroism. Now, let me tell y'all. Now, she put it out. She said she claimed that if there wasn't any paperwork. So let me be clear, brothers and sisters. And I wanted to do this so I can cut this and address this video, but I want all y'all to listen and pay close attention to the nonsense. Now, this response of the mayor, Mayor Sean Patterson Howard, and I'm responding vocally to what she said. The due process of Officer Derek Williams has always been about more than private meetings, Miss Mayor. It's about the city applying New York General Municipal Law 207C and the COVID-19 off-duty presumptions, FMLA protections, the Americans with Disabilities Act, and the Affordable Care Act protections for first responders. None of these which were explained or offered to Derek Williams for nearly 2 years. Nearly 2 years, Officer Derek Williams sat home 7 days on dialysis. And not one person from the city, the union, or the police department said anything. Now, she states that Mr. Williams never did any paperwork. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, brothers and sisters. Yes, he did. On January 8th, 2026, he submitted his MV5 line of duty injury report. The same day, Jesse Van Loo, an activist in the community, he was with Officer Williams. Not only was Jesse Van Loo with Officer Williams, Miss Mayor, so was your Chief of Staff, Malcolm Clark. So was a Deputy Commissioner. They all was in the building on January 8th, 2026, when he submitted the necessary paperwork. Officer Williams also made a formal complaint with the city council. Councilman Andre Wallace, the chairman of the Public Safety Committee, later reviewed the evidence that was brought to him and the city council. And he wrote a recommendation letter to you, Miss Mayor, to the controller, to the city lawyers, the legal department, to give this man a hearing. Now, in her post, brothers and sisters, you see what she wrote. Let me put it up again, because we're going to deal in we're going to deal in facts. She said she offered him a meeting in December so he could sit with me and the administration to walk through the process. He did the process without you. He didn't need you to do the process. Miss Mayor, the process was done on January 8th. You asked for a meeting with him in December. He went and did the process himself on January 8th. Not only did he do the paperwork, he resubmitted the paperwork to the city council, along with case law to support his position why he should have the hearing. So I don't know what you're talking about, Miss Mayor. You got to explain that, because it was done. Now, are we just working on personalities? Huh? I don't know. You have to tell me. And Andre Wallace, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. See, I keep it 100. I really keep it 100. And how do we know that he followed the process? I'm going to show y'all how we know he followed the process. This is how we know he followed the process, brothers and sisters, everybody that's watching. What does it say? After reading Dear Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson is the corporation counsel. He's the city lawyer. Dear Brian Johnson, After reading and reviewing the attached documents regarding federal and state laws, along with appellate court decisions, I recommending that the city of Mount Vernon affords Derek Williams his 207C hearing. So, Mayor, what process was you talking about? Madam Mayor, what process was you talking about? You come online and make accusations. What process were you talking about that Derek Williams didn't follow? Huh? You said in the ABC news, you said in the news that there wasn't no paperwork. How was Derek Williams out for 30 days? How was he out for 30 days and there wasn't no paperwork? He was out for 30 days during COVID. What was he out on? He got paid. Nobody wants to answer that question. Well, what policy was he out on? What was the classification did you have that he was out on if he was out for 30 days? You're telling me somebody can be out for 30 days and there is no paperwork on why he's out for 30 days in the city of Mount Vernon? Huh? How does that work? How does that work, Madam Mayor? Nobody told you that he was out for 30 days? So what was approved for him to be out for 30 days? They're giving you bad information. They really are. So what would it change meeting with you when the paperwork was done already? You had to know that he submitted the paperwork because your chief of staff was in the room. Your commissioner was in the room. Your deputy commissioner was in the room. And matter of fact, the lady that's the head of HR was in the room. The only one that wasn't in the room was you. So if your chief of staff was in the room, why didn't you just come over and be in the room too? You said he would have the meeting with HR. She was in the room. She was in the room. See, these are not this is not anything personal. We're talking procedural. Yes, the union did fail. Absolutely. But that doesn't, because the union failed, does not exonerate the city in following federal and state law. What are you talking about? Huh? And us as friends and cohorts, we didn't fail him. We exposed that the system in Mount Vernon is broken. And we exposed some other things, and I'm not going to get into today. Officer Derek Williams should have never had to rely on extraordinary grace from you or anybody else when he had protections of state and federal law. That they were designed to provide that grace, not you. You just should have followed the law. The city failed to act. And even after City Councilman Andre Wallace, even after sent a letter to you. This letter is in March 18, 2026. He sent a letter to you. And he's chair standing committee on public safety. That's what Andre's title is, ain't it? Well, I'll be damned. That's what his title is, Miss Mayor. And what did he say again? After reading and reviewing the attached documents regarding federal and state laws, along with the appellate court division, I am recommending that the city of Mount Vernon afford Derek Williams a 207C hearing. And look at the little CC there. Look at the little CC. It says Office of the Mayor. What else? Acting Commissioner, Chief Marcel Alafez, the Comptroller. All the city council people got this letter because all the city council people, they were there when we made the appeal to the city council. How did you not know about this letter, Miss Mayor? It was sent to you. How did you not know about his reports that he made on January 8th? Your chief of staff was there. Your deputy commissioner was there. Your commissioner was there. Even the same lady, the HR lady that you said that he was supposed to meet with you and her with, she was there. Where were you? Where were you? That's what we need to understand. Where were you? And I'm not attacking you. I'm responding to what you wrote. That's what you wrote. Mayor Sean Patterson Howard. That's what you wrote. I'm not making anything up. I'm just responding. It's not even personal. When you got facts, facts ain't never personal. When you don't have facts, that's when it's personal, when people don't have facts. But this was what you said. You do not, you Don, claim to know the process, but you pimped him out? The process was done. Huh? If the process wasn't done, we wouldn't have this letter. What did that say? City Council, Mount Vernon City Council. Okay. It's the same government. I want to make sure that it's the same government. You said the process wasn't done, but the paperwork was handed in on January 8th. Why did he have to sit with you? What was the purpose for Derek Williams sitting with you? There's nothing in New York State or federal law or 207C law that the officer requesting a 207C hearing has to meet with the mayor. So are you the reason it got denied? Because he didn't sit down and kiss your ring? All the paperwork was put in, Miss Mayor. You said it wasn't, but it was on January 8th. I will suggest you not post about this no more. That's my suggestion. You just leave it alone. Because you completely lied on that post. And my mother taught me, when you lie about the small things, you lying about the big things too. Exactly, Kwame. Exactly. What you did to this police officer is horrendous. And the sad thing is that every police officer in Mount Vernon should be shot because it could happen to them. I agree with you, Ms. Mayor. The PBA did fail him. I agree with you on that. And see, you just threw them under the bus again. Why? You just threw them under the bus. You threw everybody under the bus but the city of Mount Vernon following state and federal laws. Come on, man. We got to do better. We have to be better. It would have took nothing to give him a hearing. Nothing. Give the man the hearing. Win or lose. Who said he would won? I said he would won because state and federal law and case law backs him up. And maybe you knew that. I don't know. But what was the problem of giving him a hearing? I don't understand. And you made the main thing you. You made it, you made the main thing you. So, you know, that's insane. So, you know, I mean, people, I'm trying to close out, but I need to, you know, it's just so insane. It's just so insane. And this is what, and you know what? And this is what she said to Derek himself. You have a lot to say. You have a lot to say on social media, but when given the opportunity to sit across the table and discuss the case, you, in capital letters, were a no-show. A no-show win. Not because you were sick, because you chose not to show. You refused to follow any directions and provide you with support to follow the process. He did follow the process, Miss Mayor. He handed in the paperwork. And you know he handed in the paperwork because your chief of staff was there. And then she makes it personal. Derek, I have known you, your entire family, from before you were born. Your parents. What bring his parents into this situation? Why would you do that? Nobody's bringing your family into it. Why do you bring his family into it? Again, you made a false statement and you brought his family into it when you should never have brought his family. See, that's the problem with y'all Negroes in Mount Vernon. You go after the family instead of standing tall on truth. You're doing the same damn thing Richard Thomas did, but with a little more perfume and niceness. But you're no different. When you bring people's family into something that has nothing to do with it, you should be ashamed of yourself. Yes, I am saying this. You got a problem with me, you deal with me. You bring my wife into it, it's going to be a problem. This is not Black leadership, y'all. We have to check this bullshit. Excuse my French. I don't like no bullies, no bully ass politicians, male or female. My mother taught me to stand up to them. You like to claim the Bible, so do I. I'm not kissing your ass. I'm coming to you saying, thus say the Lord. I'm not like some of these weak ass politicians in Mount Vernon that want something from you. You can't do nothing for me. Or no other politician can do anything for me but do their job and represent Black people well. These are your posts, Madam Mayor. These are your posts. These are your attacks. These are your lies, saying that he didn't do any paperwork. If he didn't do the paperwork, he wouldn't have never got this goddamn letter from Andre Wallace. Y'all see it? Everybody sees it. You said he didn't do the necessary paperwork. He did all the paperwork he needed to do. So now what's your excuse? It seems like you just didn't want him to have the hearing. And you have the power to do it. That's the thing. You have the power to tell them over there because see, you know, management, they ain't got no backbone. They don't want to do the right thing because they scared. It's been that way in Mount Vernon for a long time. for a long time. That's why I just want my wife to retire. Call it a day. Put it behind her because it's just getting worse. It's just getting worse. And by God, I pray that she get the fuck out of there. Excuse my French. I'm trying to be a better person. So that's my comments, brothers and sisters, and I thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for watching. And I'm sorry, I'm very passionate about justice. And as you can see from her Facebook posts and to the facts, that we have a politician that's just not telling the truth. Yeah, they are other places. Well, yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, thank you. We gotta have truth. That's what the People Before Politics show is. That's what the Sunday Rundown is. Is we have to talk truth. Listen, I never claim. I say this every Monday on Meeting This Monday. I have never claimed that I am perfect. Because I know by God's eyes, I am perfectly imperfect. I'm not a perfect person. I never stressed to be. Never said I was. But what I am is a person for justice, freedom, justice, and equality. Well, I don't know if she's running again or not. And that's none of my business. And, you know, I really don't care whether she run again or not. My whole thing is, y'all did this brother wrong. And the city failed them. The police department failed them. Now the mayor is making statements that are untrue. And let me tell you how God works. Let me tell you how God works. Derek Williams just got a kidney. Just got a kidney, brothers and sisters. See how God works when you trust God more than you trust the government? And that's just not a lesson. That's a lesson for Black people. We are in the area that we have to trust God more than we trust the government. We have put too much trust in Black politicians. We have put too much trust in the Democratic Party. We have put too much trust in systems that don't work for us. We have put too much trust to Negroes in positions that do nothing for us. Nothing for us. We have to start putting trust in God, even when the pastors in the community put more trust in the government than they do in the God they claim to serve. Listen to what I'm saying. Derek put more trust in God. God gave him a kidney when the city failed him. When they refused to follow state and federal laws, and they made excuses. Then Black people around them made excuses because they don't want to be looked at being outside of the circle. They don't want to stand up for what's right because they're scared they might lose overtime or lose a position or won't get promoted. Blah, 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 blah. Nigger shit. Yeah, I'm not perfect. I will use scripture and then follow it up with a curse now and then. It is what it is. If you don't like it, you ain't got to watch the show. I'm trying to do better. But right now, I'm still saying what I have to say. Right. One of my mentors, Bob Law, he said, some of the problems with Black elected officials and Black leadership, once they get into position, they feel they have to represent the institution than represent Black people. And then overnight, they become the enemy of Black progress. We can't do that. We can't accept that. And look at the city. Speaks for itself. But my point is this. When you see a government that is not following a moral standard, it's not a government for you. I don't care what political party they are. And it should be more concerning if they're in the party that you claim. How do you get so torn up when the ones that you voted for are doing you dirty and all they got to do is mention Trump and you forget about all the dirt they did to you? I literally don't understand it. Somebody has to make it make sense. Because I don't know. I see my brother Jesse Van Loo, peace and blessings, Jesse. And, you know, for what she's saying, Jesse was there. He handed in the paperwork. We have a live witness that was there, right? And she said the man didn't do any paperwork. But you still have to listen, please. I've been on here for an hour and a half. I'm about to go because I got to go to the bathroom. And I don't want to just leave y'all looking at a screen. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, sister, that left the super chat. Thank you very much. I am humbled by that. But Black folks got to wake up. We got to figure out what we're going to do with this democratic socialism stuff. And then people in Mount Vernon better wake the hell up. That's all I got to say. Thank you again. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay Blacktastic. Peace out.
Black America, political loyalty without results is not power. Sign up and get your free ebook by Damon K. Jones. A seat at the table is not power. Building the table is. This book exposes how political dependence weakened our communities and lays out a blueprint for Black economic, political, and institutional sovereignty. If you're ready to move from symbolism to ownership, this is for you. Download it free today. Follow Damon K. Jones on YouTube and stay connected to empowering conversations that challenge the mind, strengthen the spirit, and uplift the community. Subscribe to Black Westchester YouTube and at Damon Jones on YouTube for powerful content on life, culture, community, faith, politics, health, and truth that makes you think for yourself. If you're serious about political clarity and independent thinking, this is for you. The Political Thought Bundle includes 3 full books, all personally salient. Democrats and Republicans, the Ultimate Gangbangers, breaks down how the two-party system operates like a legalized street war for power. Emotional Politics, Logical Failure exposes how emotion has replaced strategy in Black political engagement. Tolerance is for Cowards lays out a blueprint for extended policing and community-led public safety rooted in outcomes rather than slogans. 3 signed books. One bundle, $60. That's a $75 value, and you're getting signed copies included. This isn't left versus right. It's results versus rhetoric. Go to twosteppublishing.com and secure your signed Political Thought Bundle today. It's going to be Blacktastic. For more than a century, Black America built its own economy under segregation, under discrimination, and under conditions most people today cannot imagine. We built businesses. We built banks. We bought land and property. In the Forgotten Blueprint, Damon K. Jones reveals how Black communities created thriving economic systems from 1800 to 1965 and why that blueprint still matters today. This book challenges the idea that our future depends on politics alone and shows how ownership, family, and enterprise once powered Black prosperity. The blueprint is not lost. We just stopped using it. The forgotten blueprint. How Black America built its own economy from 1800 to 1965. On sale now at Two-Step Publishing and Amazon. Westchester magazine has been giving our community a voice, reporting the stories others ignore, holding power accountable, and making sure the truth about our communities is told by us. But independent Black media only survives when the community supports it. If you believe in real journalism, community accountability, and keeping Black voices strong in local news, we need your help. Your donation helps us continue covering the stories that matter: politics, education, justice, and economic empowerment right here in Westchester. Support Black media, support Black truth, support Black Westchester magazine. Donate today and help keep Black media alive. Because Black-owned independent media is Blacktastic. Black Westchester magazine presents People Before Politics, the Sunday Rundown, every Sunday at 6 p.m. on YouTube. Join Damon K. Jones, AJ Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as they break down the biggest stories in politics, culture, and community from a Black point of view. No spin, no party loyalty, just logic, accountability, and outcomes. If it impacts Black America, we're talking about it. Tap in, subscribe, set your reminder. This Sunday at 6 p.m. is going to be Blacktastic.